Hello students, I welcome you all to this session. In the previous session, we learnt about variables, how to declare variables and what are the rules you have to look into while creating or while you are naming the variable. And we learnt about the data types. We learned there are three different types of data types, which is called as primary data types, derived data types, as well as user defined data types. Also, we learned about the role of modifiers in changing the behavior of the data types, and lastly we learned about the size and range of each of the data types and how it is calculated. So in this session we are going to learn about the typecasting, typedef, as well as operators. Let's begin with the typecasting. Typecasting is also called as type conversion. What is this type conversion? The type conversion means you are converting the variable from one type to another. Another type. Type meaning data type. So the meaning of type means I am referring to the data type. When you are working with some business logic, when you are solving some problem, there might be some necessity of converting the variable from its original type to another type. In that case, you will take the help of type conversion. So in our C programming, there are two types of type conversions. First one is called as implicit typecasting. I'll write it as TC, and the second one is called as explicit typecasting. Implicit typecasting is the typecasting which is done by the compiler itself automatically. Meaning automatic typecasting is called as implicit typecasting. So automatic typecasting is called as implicit. Who is doing this typecasting? By the compiler. How does it do it? It does based on converting to the highest type. What it means, whenever there are variables or operands, it will look into the highest sized data type and then conversion will be made according to the highest. So that is the first. And in the case of expression where you have LHS as well as RHS, so in that case whatever may be the result of RHS, the type will be converted to the type of the LHS. So converted to the type of LHS in case of expressions having both LHS and RHS or an assignment statement. Let's take some examples on this. I will write it here. So let's take one example, 5 divided by 2. In this case, 5 is a whole number, which means an integer. 2 is also a whole number, it's an integer. What is the size of the integer? The size of the integer, as per the last session, it is 2 bytes. So both are 2 bytes, so there is no different data types. The size will be again integer. So what is the value of 5 divided by 2? Actually it is 2.5, but you will get the answer as 2. Why? Because both are integer. Automatically the type will be converted to the integer type. Now I will do some modification to this. 5 divided by 2.0. In this case, the numerator is a integer, whereas the denominator is a floating point number. That is float number. Integer is 2 bytes, whereas this one is 4 bytes. So which is highest? Denominator is highest with respect to bytes. So what will be the conversion rule by the compiler, so it will be converted to the higher type. So the answer will be 2.5 because we are going to compiler is going to convert to a higher type. So this is what example for typecasting for the first rule. Now we'll see the next example. Converted to the type of LHS in the case of expression. Let's take an example. I'll write int sum, okay, and float a and b. Assume that you have supplied the value a and b as 5 and 2.5. So meaning if I say sum is equal to a plus b, what is the value we are considering? 5 plus 2.5. What should be the result of this expression when you see it? The result of this expression is 7.5. But what the rule says? The rule says that preference will be given for the LHS type. So the LHS is of type integer. So the output, the sum value will be having only 7. It will not take the 0.5 because of the conversion rules. So I hope you have understood the example of our typecasting, that is implicit typecasting. Now we shall take explicit typecasting. Explicit typecasting is nothing but conversion made forcefully. Forcefully in the sense, who is going to do that? Forcefully is done by the programmer by writing a small command. So forceful typecasting is called as explicit typecasting. So for this you are going to write a small command. So the usage is like this. Whatever data type you want to convert to the destination, within the parenthesis or the round brackets, you have to mention the data type. And then next to it you are going to write the expression. So this is the syntax or the usage. Now we'll take the example for this. So let's take the same example, 5 divided by 2. So what we are getting the output in this case? 2, because both are integer. But we want the actual division of 5 divided by 2, which is nothing but 2.5. So if we want to get this, what we have to do is we have to write the type, destination type. What is the destination type? Floating type. What is the expression? 5 divided by 2. So if we execute this, we will get 2.5 as result, or the expression will be evaluated to 2.5. I hope you have understood the concept of typecasting. Once again I tell you, typecasting is nothing but conversion of variable from one type to another type. There are two types of typecasting. One is automatic typecasting, another is explicit typecasting. Automatic or implicit typecasting is conversion made by the compiler itself by having two types of rules. One rule is always type will be converted to the higher type, or the variable will be converted to a higher type, and the second rule says that the type will be converted to the LHS. Whatever the type LHS is having in the expression, it will be converted. Next we saw the explicit typecasting, which means that forceful conversion of the type of variable from one type to another type by writing a command is called as explicit typecasting. For that, the usage is whatever data type you want to convert to, you have to write within the parenthesis, and next comes the expression. So before the expression you need to mention the data type. So in the brackets, here we have taken the example, 5 divided by 2 is the expression and the float is nothing but the destination. Now we got the answer 2.5. This is what typecasting is all about. Now we'll look into the next concept of today's session, that is typedef. ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದು ಪೆಟ್ ನೇಮ್ ಅಂತ ಮನೇಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ? ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫುಲ್ ನೇಮು ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾಗಿ ಕರೆದ್ರೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ನಿಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೊಂದು ಪೆಟ್ ನೇಮ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ತರ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೈಪ್ ಡೆಫ್ ಅಂತ. ಟೈಪ್ ಡೆಫ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ ಅಲಿಯಾಸ್ ನೇಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್. ಸೊ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಏನಿದೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ, ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್, ಡಿರೈವ್ಡ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಯೂಸರ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್, ಫಾರ್ ದೋಸ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ ಅಲಿಯಾಸ್ ನೇಮ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೇಮ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಉಪಯೋಗಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ ದ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್. ಟೈಪ್ ಡೆಫ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲಿಯಾಸ್ ನೇಮ್ for existing for the data type. Okay, so what is the usage for this or the syntax? Type def is the keyword, and then data type, what you want to change, give an alias name, and here you are going to write the alias name. Okay, so students, you need to remember alias name is also an example for identifier, and you have to follow the rules of the identifier while giving the name for this alias name. We'll take one example. Type def int. Int is an example for primary data type. ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಸರು ಕೊಡೋಣ. I will give it as my int. Okay, so my int is a alias name for int. ಅಂದ್ರೆ my int ಕರೆದ್ರು ಇಂಟೇನೆ, int ಕರೆದ್ರು obviously ಅದರ ಹೆಸರೇ int. So now we'll see an example for declaration. My int a ಅಂತ ಈಗ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ compiler knows that you have created an alias name for the integer, and you are calling that alias name as my int. So my int, when it sees here, it will substitute as int, and then a is a variable of type int, means in the memory a will be created and 2 bytes will be allocated for integer storage. Okay, so this is what the type def is all about. ಇದನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? Type def is mainly used when you are working with user defined data types such as structures, unions. Okay, we will see the usage actually when we are working with the structures and union examples. For now, you just keep in your mind that type def is mainly used, or its actual usage is in the structures and unions. If you see the textbooks ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, type def ನ they have given under the category of different types of data types ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪು, ಡಿರೈವ್ಡ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಯೂಸರ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಟೈಪ್ ಡೆಫ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಅಂತ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯೂ ದಟ್ type def is not actually the data type category. It is just referring as a alias name, or it is just used to give an alias name. So ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಲಿಯೋದೇ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆ. Don't put this in the different types of data types. I hope you have understood. So wherever you are using my int, it means that it is an integer. If you have not understood, we'll take one more example. Instead of character, I say alpha. Alphabet ಗೆ short form alpha ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. So where now if I want to create variable of type character, I can use alpha, and a means a is a alphabet type data type, and a can store one character, one single character. This is what type define or type definition is all about, which means that you are creating alias name for the data type. Let's move on to the next topic, that is operators. So students, Operators are nothing but symbols which have got predefined meaning to perform operations. Andre operators andre one symbols, and these symbols is used to perform some operations. So the definition is symbols to perform operations. What kind of operations? It can be arithmetic, logical, and relational operators. Operators are divided into three classes. Category of operators. Before understanding category of operators, we need to take one simple example. What is that example? A plus B. When you see A plus B, here A and B are nothing but variables and plus is the symbol. So the whole thing you are doing an operation of addition. So in this case, mathematically we call this as operator and we call A and B as operands. So operators use operands and perform operations. So this is what the meaning is all about. Now, if you have understood what you mean by operands, now we can easily understand the different categories of operators. So there are three types over here: unary, binary, and then ternary. It's very simple, students, to understand these concepts. Unary means one. So if there is only one operand with the operator, then we call such kind of operators as unary operator. Consists of only one operand. So there will be no two operands, only one operands. So idರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ examples ಬರುತ್ತೆ we will see. In mathematics, if you say -3, this is valid, right? Here is a operator and this is the operand. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರದೆ ಒಂದೇ operand ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ we call this as unary operator. Now we can call this category as unary plus, that is, as well as unary minus. Also you have the exclamatory operator, which is called as the negation operator to perform logical negation. We will see all these things in the future sessions. And then you have increment and decrement operators. So the double plus and double minus are also examples for unary operator. So these operators are called as increment as well as decrement operators. Now we will see the binary. I hope now you only can frame the definition for binary operators. The operators that consists of how many? Two operands is called as binary operator. Consists of two operands. ಇದರಲ್ಲಂತೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಪರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಬೈನರಿ ಇನ್ ನೇಚರ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಎರಡು ಆಪರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದಟ್? ಅಡಿಷನ್, ಸಬ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್, ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್, ದ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಸಿಂಬಲ್, ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್, ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ. ದೆನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯುಲಸ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ we saw in the previous session, which is used to get the remainder, and the relational operator less than, greater than, logical operations and operation goskara or operations goskara pipe symbol anta heltivi. All these are examples for binary. What I can say is most of the operators fall to the category of binary. Okay. Next is the ternary. Ternary is how many? Ternary means three operands. It consists of three operands. So consists of three operands. Now you have come across unary and binary in your previous classes. In the sense, your basic mathematics tells that here there are only unary and binary. Are there any ternary operands also? Yes, we have ternary operands also, which consists of 3 operands, and only one example over here is the conditional operator. The conditional operator in C is an example for ternary operator. So the conditional operator ge symbol use ಮಾಡೋದು question mark. So the question mark operator is called as the ternary operator in C. I will write the example over here. Again, we are going to discuss this in detail. Just for time being, I will write the example of its usage to make you understand how actually it uses the 3 operands. So the ternary operators usage is, here you need to write the expression 1 and then question mark, expression 2 and expression 3. This is colon and last terminated by a semicolon. So how many expressions are there here? 3 expressions are there, which we call this as operand 1, operand 2 and operand 3. So more operands iradrinda we call conditional operator as an example for ternary operator. I hope you have understood the category of operators in C. Now we'll see the different types of operators supported in the C language. Now we are going to see the different types of operators that are supported in C. So very first is the assignment operator. So what is this assignment operator andre? Equal to operator na ನಾವು assignment operator ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So this is used to assign the RHS to the LHS, some variable on the RHS or the expression to the LHS. Then we have the arithmetic operator, which is used to perform arithmetic operations. What are the arithmetic operation? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and then the modulus operator for getting the remainder. Then we have the relational operators. Relational operators are used to compare two operands. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದು ಎರಡು ಆಪರೆಂಟ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವುದು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇದೆ, ಸೇಮ್, all those things we can do with the help of relational operators. Then logical operators are used to perform logical operations. So digital electronics class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ AND gate ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, logic gates ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, OR gate ಅಂದ್ರೇನು. So if you want to perform such kind of operations in C, you can take the help of logical operators. Then we are going to have increment and decrement operators. These are special operators which are used to either increase or decrease the value of the variable by 1 is called as increment and decrement operators. Then we have shorthand operator. You are representing expression in a short form, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾಗಿ ಬರೀತೀರಾ. So ಆ ತರ operators ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ C ಅಲ್ಲಿ, we call it as shorthand operators. Then you have conditional operator. Just now we saw what is conditional operator, which is nothing but ternary operator, which is used for two-way decision making. I did not explain what is that in the 3 types of operators. It is used for decision making operator, that two-way decision making, either true or false. Then we have the comma operators. Comma operators na ನೀವು already ನೋಡಿದೀರಾ. For example, int a, b, c ಅಂತ previous session ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಬರ್ದೆ. So when you are using comma over here, you are joining the expressions, or you can call it as a variables. So if you want to join an expression, it can be variables, then you call that operator as comma operators. Then size of operator is a different kind of operator, which is like a function. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಕ್ಕೆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ತರ ಇದೆ, and it is not a symbol. ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ನೀವು ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ನ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದ್ರಿ, ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆ ತರ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ಸ್ ನ ನೋಡಿದೀರಾ. ಬಟ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಸಿಂಬಲ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸಿಂಬಾಲಿಕ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಆಪರೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನಾವು ವೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಷಿನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ weight ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೈಜ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ದ size of operators, size in bytes. Then we have bitwise operators. So you know that the computer works in the form of binary digits. If you want to do such kind of operations in the bit level alle ನೀವು arithmetic operations na ನೀವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ then you can use the bitwise operations. We are going to see all these one by one in the next session. Okay, now in this session we covered what do you mean by typecasting. We learnt what is type definition, as well as we learnt the different category of operators as well as the type of operators that is supported in the C. For your exam point of view, typecasting is a important question. You can mark 5-star rating for this. Type def you can mark 2-star rating. So 2-star anta enandre 2 marks kelbodu, not frequently asked. Whereas operators is a 5-star rating for a descriptive 8 marks question guarantee. Okay, so we're going to stop for this session. Thank you. Happy learning.